Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your Daily Tarot and Oracle, your daily insight on life and love for August 16th, 2022, also being timeless. Wherever you're catching in time, it might be relevant, it might be entertaining, it might be irrelevant, it might be cringeworthy. That's for you to decide. Me, I'm just going to show up and tell you what I see in the cards. If you have questions about booking a private reading based off of this, or any other reason, go ahead to the beginning or the end of the video. There's all the ways of contact. You can also see what other services I provide, see what might be right for you. We'll talk sales, pricing, availability, time zones, all that jazz. But as it stands, let's get this show on the road. I see that there is either a gallery? Yeah, there's a gathering. It's like a gathering and a gallery, but they just kind of combine the two. No, there's a gathering that is coming about, some sort of celebration, some sort of rite of passage for all, that could be going on. Maybe you're going back to school. I do know that I'm recording this at the time in which kids are going back to school, but this is not for kids. This is 18 and over. Watching you, man. So, there's a celebration that's coming into play. There is a gathering. It does feel beautiful, growing, celebratory. For some of you, it could be a party. For some of you, it could be a wedding. For some of you, it could be some sort of a promotion, either in life or professional. Something is growing that has a major payoff. And this is going to be something that sets you up foundationally. It's going to require your discipline and your trust, because I do see that this is going to be kind of a risk. And it feels like a positive risk for you. It's not anything that's dangerous, not telling you to do anything legal, not any of that. But there's some sort of coming together of the people. So whatever that means for you, that could be like, the 3 people, or maybe it's going to involve thousands or millions with you. I don't know. This is all up to you. But there's also something that you do need to be wary of in this. The 3 of Pentacles in reverse talks about how people do not learn from their past mistakes and they keep repeating them, and that they haven't really done anything new with it. This is a potential danger for you, not physical, not literal. It's more of a figurative danger. This is something that you do need to keep an eye on, because you do not want to keep repeating the same pattern. And I do feel like this is going to be a test that is coming up, if not now, in the very near future. So this is it feels like temptation. I feel like there is going to be some sort of bout of temptation. You need to obviously not give in to that temptation. Do you really want to repeat these same cycles and patterns? No, you do not. So, my dear, in this, I'm seeing there's nothing more for you to be gained with it. If this is somebody from your past that is coming up for some sort of reconciliation, I want you to know they haven't changed. It's going to be the same spiel. It's going to have the same shtick. You don't want to be part of this. This might be going towards some sort of a, maybe not codependent, but coping mechanism that is probably not healthy for you. There is an opportunity of relapse. If it's talking about repeating cycles, you kind of have to be open to the concept that relapse is one of cycles repeating themselves. Old coping mechanisms, old habits, this is not something that you want to pursue any further. You have to go about this a very different way. And I do feel like you have not only the emotional intelligence to know that this is going to be a test coming up, you're going to have alternative resources and opportunities that you will be able to jump on, rather than this repetitive pattern in your life. And I do feel like this is going to be something where the messages are going to be coming through rather quick for you. So this might be an external message. We talk about cledons, where it's, something that is completely misplaced out of the regular norm around you. It could be something that somebody says, something that you witness, something that you see. But also pay attention to that. And for some of you, those signs, it might be your spidey senses tingling on this, and I want you to pay attention to that. So, I think I have a severe sprain on my left foot. It's hurting. I should really elevate it. You want to know something? I'm going to do it. It's much pain. That feels a little bit better. Yeah, okay, I need to keep it elevated. I definitely got a sprain. Cut through messages are coming on, and they're coming on strong. You're going to be able to straighten your crown, and I genuinely feel like it's because you're not going to go to your go-to on this, whether it's a past person or a past substance or a past opportunity. Something new has to happen now, and you see this, and I see that you're acting very swiftly on that. It does feel like a knee-jerk reaction. Let's see. Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords. There's going to be a whole different start of messages that are coming through with this. You know how after you complete something, either in your life or in school or in relationships, when you close a door, you start to get different messages that are coming through. And I do feel like that's going to be something that you are doing. But I also feel like you're not in a place to hear or receive any of those messages. So what this is leading me to believe is that there is some form of mourning or even remorse for the changes that you had to make, not because they weren't right, but because it's just hard. It feels hard. So we have from Angel Therapy, have you asked your angels for help with this? So I want to get another card from here. Your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. So I know it sounds stupid because it sounds obnoxious, like they know, so why don't they just do it? All right, so apparently we have two. We're gonna see what those are. Because you need to put the words out. You need to actually put the energy out there, the intention. So it's not enough to think about something. Thinking about something is usually the very start of change. The concept of something can take place or can be different. That's why it's so important for you to mind your thoughts, not just, repress them, understand them, look at them from a place of being objective and decide what it is that you want to keep pursuing as a thought process or what it is that no longer deserves your attention. Now, what you keep putting your focus on is what you're coming about with now. So what is it that you need to verbalize? Because you've done enough thought behind it. It's time to start giving it creation. That's going to happen with the simple word, Lord, Spirit, Allah, Flying Spaghetti Monster. What do you happen to believe in? This you need to start putting the words out to. And this is going to take the thought into the transferring of the words into the physical action, which you'll start to see different signs and symbols for in your environment. The cards that came out is you are a powerful light worker in the solar plexus chakra. It is safe for you to be powerful and to take charge of your life in positive ways. Breaking cycles, baby. You know it. It is safe for you to be powerful. Are we power hungry? Are we gonna have a brawl over this, man? Your spiritual power brings a great blessings and loving service to the divine. I can't love that enough. Yeah, you are here as an act of service and a servant to your beliefs. I don't care if it's a higher power or science, whatever you put your faith in, that is your belief. And I think that they are kind of equal. So, my dear, while I see that you are kind of closed off and Spirit is waiting for you on the other side of you being closed off, I do see that it is manifesting. You have put enough thought process into this to actually start making the words to go along with this and have Spirit affirm what it is that your desire is. You need to break the bond between thought, or you need to break the barrier, you need to break the barrier between the wall of thought and the wall of reality. That's kind of how I see it. Your flesh, your body, your autonomy, your everything. It's the divider between thought and consciousness to material and reality. You need to break that barrier. And that's why it's so important to do it, because it's, not enough to have it contained in the head. So I actually start to see some sort of sense of balance and restoration and confidence building in your life. We have the High Priestess here, and what I love about her is this is somebody who has cloaked their self in healing, and who, while they're strong and on their throne, they don't stop and ignore the riches in life. They actually start to enjoy the the pleasures of life and not letting it overrule them. This is somebody who has made the choice to slow down and enjoy the fruits of their labor, knowing that they have a firm foundation, that this is not going to fall beneath it. And also we have the pillars that are on the other side, where the High Priestess does not have their strength developed. This is what's going to hold up the world around them. And I love looking at this chair because I see something different in it every time. We see a tree growing, but also you'd think that this is some sort of cloak from the other side of this. No, it's not. This is not just a cloak of pomegranates. If you look closely, there is a separation between the land and this throne. And you see the calm waters behind it, and you see the distant land that's behind it. No matter where this entity stands, wherever this goddess or god stands, you know that they are going to be stepping into something that is healing and transforming, and that is cleansing with them. And everything about them is learning how to speak out, speak their truth, speak in authenticity. Now, since it's the High Priestess, it usually goes with the gender, female, but we have got to learn to take away that gender identity with it. It's not about the identity. This is divine feminine, which we all have completely encapsulated in ourselves. The divine feminine, the worth aspect of you that has decided to cognitively and in action make these changes, is starting to gain their confidence. And I need to tell you, this was not without stress. What I love about the High Priestess is this entity has been through enough disappointment and enough letdown and enough confiding in the unconfidable to finally say, no more. I'm the High Priestess. I do not need you. I do not need you. I do not need you. I do not need this. And then they take back their power. The angel therapy cards were talking about taking your power back. And you want to know something? You may have had your throwdown with spirit recently. And I've heard this in private readings. I've heard this in quite in passing with others. People are having their breakdowns and throughs right now. People in certain relationships, absolutely butting heads. You're seeing a lot of people go through challenges, and there's a lot of breakups, regardless of the dynamic happening now. There's a lot of breakups in contracts. There's a lot of breakups in relationships. There's a lot of breakups in paths. I'm going to say it like that. And this is because you can't be a stepping stool for someone else. You have to use stepping stools in your life to get you to where you want to go. You don't step on a mountain of bodies. You step on mountains of trials and tribulations, not squishing others down for your personal gain. So why would you allow this for yourself? You're stepping up a mountain with your trials and tribulations and your ability to overcome and catch your breath before you take the next step. And I see that you decided to make it a little bit easier on yourself. You're the High Priestess. You decided to work smarter, not harder, which it took you a long time to learn how to do that. So to work smarter is to work efficiently, which is hard in itself now, isn't it? I see that this is where the mastery is coming in. You're chiseling out more and more of what you want to experience. The Pentacles is all earth energy. It's very grounding. The 8 is all about abundance. We have an empire in the back, and you are creating your own empire. You're not going to stay in somebody else's empire again. Huge power move on your part. This does take momentary struggle for you to actually become empowered. There's no win without a sense of loss. Because if you have a win without a sense of loss, then every win that you have is clustered into the same sense of almost nothingness. You don't quite know the polarity of it. So it took you a long time to get here. And I see you working so hard on yourself. This is very grounding energy. And you see how this person is chiseling out the stars in these pentacles. This is done with the simplest of tools, but it's still this amazing precision. And this person has made sure that they have made themselves comfortable because they're in this for a long haul with themselves. They're not looking for shortcuts. They're not looking for quick fixes. There's no more of that in here. And I think that this may have been something that you have looked towards in the past. Okay, not doing that again. Now we're all about this now. No. You had to experience the letdown and not bypass it with change in order to authentically change, which means that you had to accept whatever this trial or tribulation or sense of even failure was in some cases. To accept it is to not deny it, to blatantly look at the elephant in the room and be like, this can't be right. And so I see that you blessed, amazing soul, you got the Lover's card. Now for some of you, just going back to the reading, because I did say, gatherings, graduations, even weddings. Some of you may be embracing a true divine connection that is incoming. And some of you may be having a deepening of a connection that is new or currently exists, or that it newly exists, sorry. And some of you are making very passionate and life-affirming life choices. It took a lot of hard work for you to chisel out the person who you are now and that you are still becoming to be. This did not happen overnight. And you could not have made these decisions and these changes and these choices before because you didn't have the experience. You didn't have the wisdom. You didn't have the ability to differentiate what was and what will be, or what it is that you want. I feel like there was a lot of complacency in the past with this, and that's just simply not here anymore. So I see major changes that are happening in your life, and it is feeling incredibly intimate for you. Like the Lover's card, I love the sense of balance of the masculine, the feminine, the willpower, the will. And I see the angel divine guidance in here. We have Archangel Gabriel, who's guiding over these two as they are burning down their comfort zone and stepping into the unknown and learning something new. We have the wisdom of worthiness, and we have the fire of potential. All of this is coming to a head together. I can't love it any more than this. Your trials and tribulations is leading to something that is going to be massively affirming for you. So, all in all, do I see that you are going to actually relapse and repeat patterns? Not even a little. I think that you're breaking the cycle. But I do feel like this is something that is going to be a test right now. Are you going to, are you going to fall flat on your face and repeat a cycle that is already a well-known hell for you? No, you're not going to do that. Are you going to break the cycle and step out into something that is unknown and something that is uncomfortable, but it's teaching you how to adapt and how to overcome previous tendencies, previous mindsets, previous paradigms, previous ideas of strengths and weaknesses? I see victory. I see it happening faster with your acceptance of the change that needs to happen for you. I think that's a very big power move with you. So everything about this is leading to an entirely new and blessed cycle. Everything is in divine order. Everything is working in your favor. It does feel like it has been written by the feminine and masculine aspects, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul, so the soul. And I feel like this is going to be a lot of swift moving action, I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunity to not only adapt, but to be very creative in here. Everything about this involves you speaking out, standing in your truth, and using your voice. I want you to speak up for yourself. I want you to make these changes for you. Now, you might have to pause when you are weighing out your options, but it doesn't mean that you're going to stay stuck there forever. You need to kind of recalibrate before you take that action, but everything is in divine order and it is in the right direction, and you need to hear that right now. This is going to be a very beautiful and very luck-ridden cycle. I feel like it's your time for your life to come together and for you to have true, authentic sense of new and different happiness. So I'm going to leave the reading there. It's been the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on life and love for August 16th, 2022, and again, being timeless. I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope that it made sense, and if it didn't, I hope you got a good chuckle. But until next time, stay safe, have fun, and just know that you're greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. Stop putting yourself in situations with people you know that are going to continually stress you out. Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt that they have changed. And I do feel like this type of person has probably been in your life for an excruciating amount of time. We're talking years here. I do feel like this is the same type of person who you have wasted a lot of your time on. I do feel like this is somebody who you have lost a lot of sleep over, and you have tried to figure out ways to make it work. You keep taking this on as though it's you who's the problem in this. The problem is you keep pursuing the problem. And I feel like they know what they're doing. And I feel like you kind of need to starve them of the reaction that they're trying to get from you. So I see here, if this is somebody in your life, stop putting yourself in this situation with them. If you have the ability to get away, then stay away. But if you don't have the ability to get away, stop engaging in them. Find somehow to get away from them. I know that sounds easier said than done in some cases, but that's pretty much what I can kind of advise in this moment. But yeah, there's somebody that you do need to get away from. If you're in some sort of toxic, abusive, or legal situation, use all of your resources to get help. I do see that you are going to be free of this. I do see that you will be happy in getting away from this. And I also feel like a lot of the weight off of your shoulders is going to come off. And I think that you'll be able to not only sleep, I feel like you'll be able to breathe a lot easier with this. And I don't think that this type of person will have access to you anymore. So honestly, thank God. There's a lot that needs to change in your life, and I do feel like you need to stop making yourself so open to these types. I feel like the reason why you do this is because they seem so familiar. Well, yeah, it's because of what you're used to. You feel like you know this type of energy. It's because you've had this type of energy before. And it wasn't the best now, was it? So unconditional joy is yours for the taking after this. This kind of makes me think of the collective I just did. Go to my YouTube channel if you want to check it out, Raising Savak Tarot. And it's the collective for August 16th, 2022. This was talking also about breaking cycles, but this is kind of emphasizing it. So let me know. I hope this was helpful. There's somebody from your past that takes advantage of you and who has been very manipulative of you. And I'm seeing this as getting under your skin in a very passive way and taking advantage of your confidence. And I see that there's been these little like side comments that would jab at you. This happened very slowly. I'm looking at the archetype cards, and I do feel like this person was an energetic vampire for you. The thing is, they fawned on your nurturing ability, didn't they? I'm sure they gave you this horrible song and dance of what has transpired in their life or who has hurt them. And I'm not negating their experience, but you have to understand that you are not part of that experience. So I'm seeing a toxic connection that was built off of trauma that has transpired in your life. And again, I feel like this is somebody from the past. And I see that there's been some confusion as to an authentic soul-bound, soul contract connection of, you know, just intensity and love and, you know, acceptance, whether the love was romantic or platonic. You guys got into some stuff in this connection, apparently. I see that they didn't have quite the same belief of what it was, but it feels like they were playing off of your emotions with it, which is really gross. And I feel like you're somebody who's been seeking out somebody special for a very long time. And I feel like that person still exists, but I also feel like it can't be in the person who's manipulating and who's toxic and who's abusive. And in fact, if this is a love connection or a connection of any kind, with every disclaimer of the readings, I'll tell you, this may seem great. This does not seem great, by the way. But if your relationship is toxic, abusive, or illegal, I don't care what the cards say, get out of it. And I'm saying that with this too, because I feel like this person was manipulating you to make it seem like this is something that it's not. And this led to utter confusion. I think that you're divinely beautiful. I think you have a real connection and intuition, but I don't think that you have the authentic connection that you have with this person. I don't think that it is what they're trying to portray that it is, which is why I see that this is coming apart. And I think that you might actually feel a lot better once you clear your energy up off of them. And if this is any other kind of connection, I still want you to know that they were being manipulative of you and misusing your need or your innocence in this. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you are able to get away from this total idiot. That's like the most G-rated word I have for them right now. Whatever bog you are in, I feel like you need to get outside. Now, if weather permits and you're in a safe area, obviously go out and get grounded, let your feet hit the ground. But if you're in dire straits and in a terrible place, obviously, you know, find another way to do this, i.e. take a salt bath or take some sort of a bath. Let yourself find grounding in the elements. I think that that is super important here. I do feel like you do need to let the sun hit your face. I do feel like there's, if you can't go out in the sunlight, obviously a vitamin D thing. Also, you need to pay very close attention to what it is that you're putting into your body. I think that you're incredibly intuitive with what your needs are, and I also feel like that has been something that has been neglected, which is probably why you're coming across this right now too. Your energy has been down, bogged down, and it's not going to be a quick fix. You have to use your natural healing abilities and get your blood moving in whatever fashion that is. If you have to blink, blink. If you have to do yoga, do yoga. If you have to lift weights, lift weights. If you want to rock climb, do it. But get your body moving to whatever degree that you can right now, but obviously don't get psychotic with it. We're not trying to friggin' move mountains here, I'm telling you what. But all of this is going to involve something natural with you. No, I don't think that there's anything wrong with you. I just feel like there's some sort of misstep in taking care of yourself. But this probably happens a lot with you too, if you're the type of person who takes care of everybody and everything. So this is time for you to take care of yourself. Sometimes self-care looks like a pizza. Sometimes self-care looks like ice cream. Sometimes self-care looks like fruits and vegetables and exercise, or to whatever the spectrum of it you are on. But practice some self-care right now. Doing something natural is going to make you feel a lot better, and it's actually going to bring out more of this shining personality that is you. Hope this was helpful. Talk to you soon. So I have a sneaking suspicion you may have been acting as a solo artist for some time in your life right now, and I think that you are either figuring yourself out or working on figuring yourself out or figuring out what the next step is. I see that there is some form of reconciliation with a form of family. This could be family of origins or a family that you construct. It doesn't have to be any sort of classic type family. This is a gathering of people who make you feel like you're at home in a positive sense, not in a crazy psycho, toxic kind of way. We're staying away from that. But I see that you need to kind of make yourself feel a little bit more at ease. You need to learn how to let people know how to be there for you, show them how to be there for you, and have your needs met. I feel like you have been so stoically independent to the point of your detriment, and you've burnt yourself out. And now you have to learn how to sing an entirely new tune on this. So the family and the change of directions, I think that this is the most pivotal point for you on here, because it's you having to acknowledge that you actually do need somebody. Now, we humans, if you identify as a human, if you identify as a lizard, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to get back to you on that. Humans are cohabiting creatures. We are looking for a sense of connection. And it doesn't have to be romantic, it doesn't have to be anything, but we are looking for that sense of community and connection. So I see that this is something that you, much to your probable dismay, is something that you have to admit. So you have to also put yourself out there, but what does out there even look like? Where do you have to put yourself out there? You have to put yourself in the places where you want to be and find those people who get it, who understand, who can be that support for you. So this is going to have you showing up, I think, in the most unexpected places for you that you only imagine that yourself could be. But I also see you finding that sense of community and connection there. You're finding your people. So it's time for you to go. Let yourself be cared for, please. Hey you. So chances are, if you found your way across this video, you identify as divine feminine energy, and you are on some sort of a deep soul journey, soul-bound connection right now. The card says twin flame. I want to take that title away since it's been massively abused and misrepresented. This is just a deep soul bond that you have with another person, a deep soul contract. I've heard it identified as everything from kindred spirit, soulmate, twin flame, all over the board, all over that spectrum. So it's so important to see that here. But also I see that your divine feminine aspect is something that needs to be worked on right now. I feel like this is something that has been triggered recently. So you may have been hypersensitive, you may have been very reactive, you may have been in a very low place, and also having issues with worthiness or love and compassion for oneself. I also see that this is something that you have been looking about for externally rather than internally. But what you are feeling and the loneliness that you are feeling is persecution, what seems to be persecution from a previous life, either in this life or in actual another lifetime. Now, what the heck does that mean? Because it sounds wishy-washy. Well, we go through these different stages. We go through being different people in this life, and sometimes our lives are completely different than what they were 5 years ago. That can be considered another lifetime for you because you are a totally different person in a totally different place. So that's something that I want you to consider. You may be a divine, identifying as divine feminine, even though we have divine feminine and masculine inside of us. You might be carrying more of the feminine on the front, in the driver's seat right now. But if you identify as more masculine and you're finding your way to this video, chances are there's been somebody who has more of that feminine aspect in your life, and they've been probably in a very low place recently. So this is bringing attention to this on both parts. Patience is required here, and understanding that this past life issue will go away, because I do see divine feminine energies making an effort to cut this away, but they do need help. So they need help with people who have either gone through the same thing or going through the same thing, and they need lots of encouragement doing this, because I see that this feminine energy kind of has an issue with the worthiness that makes them have an issue with consistency and pushing through on this. They might have a case of the efforts. But as long as it's not toxic, abusive, or illegal, I see the patience being there, I see the understanding and the compassion being there, and I see divine feminine pulling through and being more confident. So this is all about empowerment and understanding and compassion. I hope it was helpful. You have been hurt so many times in the past that connecting to somebody is terrifying for you. Huge fear of connection and of intimacy. And I don't think that you want to be alone. I don't think that you want to be lonely, but I also feel like you are terrified of either love or companionship on some level. And I see that you're not running out of time. It's not too late for you. I do feel like you are ready. But also the issue is allowing yourself to connect to this person or connect to a new person that is coming in. So this is not for anyone who, you've never spoken to, who you've never met. It's not for anyone who you obviously have, some sort of legal issue with. Yeah, I'm putting that out there for a very strong reason. It's also not for toxic, abusive, or illegal situations. But I also see that you are talking yourself out of the very thing that you want because you're afraid that, like the past, it could hurt you in the now. And what would you even be able to do with it? You're ready for this connection. You're ready for this love. You're ready, and you have to love yourself first in this. You're finding your true north, and you keep reflecting at the past and calling it your future. These people who have come in and who are coming in and who you are connecting with, they're not going to hurt you. You don't need to be afraid of allowing your guard down and connecting with them. I do see that this is going to be something that is going to be a process for you, because I see many breakdowns happening in this because of your fear. And then we have fate coming into play, and the bottom of the deck is the thinker in reverse. So it would really benefit you to talk to somebody who's been there. Talk to somebody who sees your anxiety and is not trying to talk you down off of it, but get you to understand where it is coming from and why it's there and what needs to happen because of it. I do feel like this is a very fated connection that is coming in, and no, I don't feel like it's abusive. But again, if it does show to start getting toxic or abusive, because some people will take advantage of situations like this, obviously pull away. But with the person who you have either newly connected with or that you are about to connect with, I feel like the triggers that are coming up, it needs to be healed from the past. And I do feel like it's real. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that no matter what, you let yourself be happy in this, because you deserve it. And the other person on the other side of this, they also want it. It's kind of beautiful. I love this. So I hope it was helpful.